Good evening, ladies. We're moving on. On the last video, we learned how the strongest proof to Hashem's existence, which is supposed to bring us to knowing that there is a creator, not just believing that there is a creator, is to look at this world and see all the wisdom and 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 beauty in every single component in creation, doesn't matter which, and just see how much wisdom it requires and understand that it's not something that happens out of an explosion or out of something random. And we saw that if you look at everything in the world that is created by men, you can immediately realize that it was created by men because you see the wisdom in it. You don't look at a couch, a beautiful leather couch, and assume that it was randomly created. Why? Because you see the beauty, you see how accurate everything is, you see the wisdom that it takes in the skill. You understand that something like that doesn't happen randomly in the jungle out of out of an animal dying and somehow the skin of the animal turns into a wonderful leather couch. It doesn't happen. And the same way, we can understand that about everything that was created by Hashem. Because if we look at this world with all the amazing things that Hashem created for us, there is no equivalent in the world, in anything that is mankind, man made. Even if you take the simplest thing in the world, a brain of a worm, there's no equivalent to that. Even if you put the greatest computers in the world that were invented by men, they're not equivalent. The simplest brain of a worm. So you see how much wisdom it takes to create our creation, and it's not something that happens by accident randomly. The next thing I want to talk about is something amazing. Let's go a little bit into chemistry. Okay, if you look at there's this chart. When I did my degree, we had to learn chemistry, and there's this chart that shows you the different kind of materials that are in the world, and what divides them one from each other is how many electronim or electrons. I'm trying to translate it, and I hope it goes through. If it doesn't, you'll go with me, go with the flow. So there's an atom. So every atom has the core or the garin, the root, the middle of the atom, and inside there are electrons. And those electrons, the amount of these electrons define what material will be made out of this atom. Do you understand what I'm saying? The difference between a diamond and a piece of coal is how many electrons there are inside the atom. Actually, there is no difference. A diamond and a piece of coal has 6 atoms inside. And the difference between them are the connections between those electrons. But really, there is no real difference between diamonds and coal. And it's true about every single material in the entire universe that the difference between one material to the other is just in the amount of those electrons. That's crazy. Fact number one. Fact number two, these electrons, when you learn about an atom, you imagine like a big thing with a core inside and those electrons that are moving, and and then you have the boundaries of those atoms, and we imagine those boundaries in something that is set. But the truth is that those boundaries are only created by the protons that are on the outside of the atom, and those protons move. It's a little bit like a fan, right? The fan has its parts, but when it turns around, so it doesn't matter where you put your finger, you'll get hit because it moves so quickly. It's as if it covers everything. The same goes with the atom. Those protons move so fast that it doesn't matter where you try to approach. It's always as if it's full because the proton moves so fast. Now think of an element in creation that only has one electron, and the same way he has only one proton. So what does it mean? It means that there is one single proton that needs to set the boundary to the entire atom. It moves so fast. Imagine the amount of energy that it requires. Fact number one. That's already fact number two. Fact number three is that the ratio between the electrons and the protons and the size of the atom is insane. The ratio is like an ant standing on a professional baseball field. That's huge. So imagine a tiny ant in a big baseball field. That's the ratio. And the entire baseball field is empty. There's no, the atom is empty. There's nothing inside. It's just this single proton that is tiny and it moves so fast that it's as if it's in every single inch of the entire baseball field in any given moment because it's so quick. That's insane. Fact number 4. What does it mean, basically? It means that the entire world is empty. Because when you look at the atom has a size, and this size, it's as if it's solid, but it's not. It's empty, and it's just this single proton that is tiny, and it's just moving so fast. So if those protons would stop moving for 1 second, there will be nothing solid in our world. Let's see, I have a table in front of me. I knock on the table, it seems solid to me, but if these protons will stop moving just for 1 second, there will be no table in front of me. This world that seems to us so solid and real and true, it's really nothing. It's empty space. Fact number 5, those protons and electrons are not real material. They're units of energy, which means even they are not solid. There's no material. So when we look at this world, it seems to us so true, so solid, so real, and there's nothing more real than this world. And it's not just this world, it's the entire universe, all the galaxies. For us, it's such a solid fact. You know what? There's nothing here. In a way, it's just an illusion. This world there's no solid material. It's just empty space moved by energy. That's crazy, including us, including ourselves. That's why I said the existence. Oh, okay, so first of all, what kind of wisdom it takes to create a world that seems solid but is really nothing, just emptiness and energy. That's insane. And second of all, remember I told you that knowing that there is a creator is something that we need to know with clarity. It's not just a belief. And in a way, we need to know that there is a Shem more than we know that there is a room around us. And that is the reason why, because the room around us, that's an illusion. There's no material here. You look at the wall, it seems like such a solid wall. There's nothing there. It's empty space with energy moving around. But on the other hand, Hashem's existence, you can see the proof of Hashem's existence in every single thing. If you go even to the smallest details, to every single atom, you can see Hashem's existence in every single atom. This kind of wisdom doesn't happen randomly. Thank you, and have a good evening.